we know how exciting it is to be a Democrat here because the greatest Democrat in Essex County has come out here to visit with us today. And you all know what we know, that he's a rising star, and we're hitching our wagon to that star, and we're going to get home with it. But I would be remiss if I don't first thank all of you, not just for being here, but for doing such a great job. Those of you who are elected officials, and as I've said before, I'm delighted that there are so many elected officials in this county now that if I went through every one of you, we wouldn't have time to listen to the mayor, and he's a much better speaker than I am, and probably better than most of you too. My right-hand man is the guy whose home we're enjoying today. Would like to introduce our guest speaker.
Thank you. Thank you all again. I so greatly appreciate you being here, and we've heard stories. We read the papers, we know what's going on. It's about leadership. Everything's about leadership, whether it's in a family or a business, or the most important type of leadership in government. We know that we have to open our eyes, we have to question what's being done around us, and it's not just theory, it's not just platitudes. It gets done by the right people. We're honored to have with us someone who has done that his whole life. We know how he's transformed the city of Newark, the largest and probably the greatest city in this great state. It's a wonderful city, and it's coming back to life through his leadership. But we also have to know, some of us might not know his background. I think I spoke to Alex Radis, our great executive director, who told me that maybe a few months or maybe a year ago, he got lost in Newark, and he went down Broad Street all the way to the end, and he was scared to death. Well, Mayor Booker lived there. He didn't have to. He's a Rhodes Scholar. He has a degree from Yale, from Stanford. He's a brilliant man. He could live anywhere he wants. But he knew that he had to get down in the trenches to understand what was happening in people's lives and in the world around him. He did that. And to everyone's benefit, he has a breadth of knowledge and a view of the world that very few people have. And we're honored to have him with us. In the past 10 years or so, I've done a lot of presidential politics, and people always ask me, what makes a presidential candidate different? And why don't you ever get one to your house? Well. Maybe you can all just judge for yourselves what makes them different, how they speak and what they talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Cory Booker.
Thank you very much. I am really excited to be here, and I want to thank our hosts for opening up their family. I now know who really runs the family here. I want to thank the candidates who have put their hearts and their spirits and their energy and their time and their money on the line and investing it in the hope that we can make a tremendous change. I want to thank everybody that's here right now, because change was never made by individual leaders. It's always made through collective struggle and collective sacrifice. And I want to let you all know that what excites me as I go up and down the state of New Jersey and talking to folks who love this state and live in this state, I really do believe, despite the challenges that are before us right now, that the best days of New Jersey are yet to come. But now I say that with wanting to yet again reflect back on the days behind us. I have to go on Stephen Colbert tomorrow night, and it's going to be a smackdown. It's going to be a smackdown. South Carolina versus New Jersey. I know he's a Jersey resident now. But I have to say, and Colbert and Jon Stewart, and I even had to take our friend from HBO, another Jersey resident, with Real Time with Bill Maher on, because these guys are always making Jersey jokes. And I have to say to everyone, please remember from whence we've come. Whether it was the first battle that truly turned the tide in this nation, the Battle of Trenton, when after Washington's army beat us time and time again in New York, it really took a New Jersey battle to turn the direction of our country. We are the state, thank you for, applaud New Jersey. I'm tired of us not showing our Jersey pride. I mean, if you think about this state, we are the great uniters of the country. Whether it was a transcontinental railroad where the engine was built where? In the state of New Jersey. Whether it was the first people to unite this nation through airways and radio waves, the first AM and FM broadcast where? in New Jersey, and we're not responsible for Rush Limbaugh. We are a state from inventions like the submarine to even our pastimes. The first baseball game right here in New Jersey. I was out in Denver for Barack Obama and the convention, and here I bumped into the mayor of Denver talking about the Rocky State and this being the home of beer. And I looked at him, I go, wait, the first brewery in the United States was where? In New Jersey. And I guaranteed him that Jersey politicians could outdrink any kind of Colorado politician. And I hear these state slogans. Georgia is the peach state. Well, the World's Fair back in 1938 settled it in a blind taste test. The Jersey tomato beat the Georgia peach every single time. North Carolina says they're first in flight. This is true. The first flight, actually commercial flight in America, was a balloon flight that originated in the state of New Jersey. I hear these things like New York saying they're the Empire State. Well, everything from malleable iron to the I-beam was invented right here in New Jersey. And I get frustrated that Virginia says they're for lovers. Well, New Jersey invented the drive-in movie theater, the first one ever. And I'm telling you, there was more love going on at these drive-in theaters than anything that went on in Virginia. We are a great state. Our innovations, our industry, everything that this country brags about, New Jersey boldly, generation after generation, showed our strength, showed what we had to offer. We truly became everything from the Garden State all the way to the pharmaceutical capital of the globe, banishing disease and punishing pain. This is the spirit of New Jersey. And now as we stand here in a new century, it's up to us as individuals to reclaim not only our pride, but our rightful place as a state that will show the nation which way to go. Now, this doesn't come easily. Nothing worthwhile is easy. It really means that in towns all around this country, we have to start asserting our values, especially here in our state. We all watch news at night and begin to get a little cynical or skeptical about the debate that's going on. It's becoming so divisive. The cacophony of screaming, yelling, and back and forth. People even in congressional halls now, during joint sessions, are thinking it's okay to scream at the President of the United States. This, to me, has to change, but it can't change by us sitting back and yelling at our TV screens, because indeed, democracy is not a spectator sport. It's a full contact participatory endeavor. You can't sit back and give color commentary on what's happening. You have to put on your chin strap and get into the game. We are all here today because we believe we need to be participants in this democracy. And the events and elections to come this November, as this great county tries to inch back its way towards regaining its pride, regaining its strength, banishing corruption, banishing in many ways the laziness that infects government if it's not manned by vigilant individuals. What you are doing right now is, in my opinion, the most important fight in any democracy. So I want to praise your spirit. I want to thank the candidates that are standing up. And I want to let you know that victory is in your hands if you're willing to do what is necessary. When I first started running for office in Newark, I was a Bergen County boy, and I was called every imaginable name when I first started. I wasn't just a carpetbagger. I was a KKK member, a tool of the Jews. I was gay. I began to tell people, well, if I'm really representing all those people and I'm bringing them all together, I'm the great uniter. People lined up to tell me what I could not do, lined up to tell me that things I was saying was too visionary, that I was setting expectations too high, I could never deliver on our words. When I got into office as mayor, that's exactly what happened. People said, oh, Cory, you can't do, well, stop talking about the murder rate in Newark. It was, at that time, well over 100 people had been murdered the year I got in, and people said, Cory, you can't do that. I told some folks inside that we said, yes, we can, and we started taking on challenges. First, we attacked just a ridiculousness that often settles into government if it's not shaken from time to time, if reformers don't come in and re-examine things, pick them up and turn them over. If government gets sclerotic, if government gets stuck and stale, then you won't have innovations, you won't have reform. And we came in and started looking at our police department and said, this is